Hey, folks, listen. Before you divorce the person, you got to divorce the dynamic. All right, listen. Are you at a place in your relationship where you're confused? You're conflicted. You don't know whether to go on with this person or people, or you don't know whether to just call it quits. You don't know whether to kick them to the curb. You don't know whether to just cut them off altogether. All that stuff. You're in a conflicting place, right? But here's the thing. We will spend the rest of our lives cutting people off and getting rid of folks if we don't really look at the root of the issue. People are not necessarily the issue in and of themselves. We are not just incompatible. All of us are placed in a culture, unfortunately, one that's not even really designed for us to thrive together. Our relationality is really not supported the way that it should be in our society. So we have to take the high road and mature a little bit and really look at and start having the right conversations surrounding our relationships. We all know that a lot of things we bring into relationships comes from childhood, comes from trauma, comes from drama, comes from that slap you got from your mama. It comes from all types of things that have caused us to have to show up different, or show up in a different personality, or show up in a way that is either more acceptable or even a way that's more protective. Neither one of them are appropriate. So when you're in relationship with people, you're dealing with how they've had to show up in the world. You're dealing with some of the drama that they faced, some of the trauma that they've experienced. You're dealing with them having to deal with someone somewhere at some point in their life saying that them as they were wasn't enough. Them as they were wasn't acceptable. So then we develop these personalities. Personality comes from the word persona, which simply means mask, right? How many people are we actually dealing with that are living as their authentic selves? We're all striving for that, right? So before we just make it a habit of just starting to cut people off, we ourselves need to do our own personal work, right? Because we're showing up with our stuff too, right? So we need to do our own personal work and ask ourselves the question, is it this person, or is it the dynamics in which we're relating? Is it the dynamics that I bring to the relationship? Is it the relationship that I have with shame that's causing me to seem or to be discordant in this relationship? Is it the relationship that I have with not feeling like I'm enough that's making me sort of seem like I'm now hyperactive and being a people pleaser, and this person isn't responding, or these people aren't responding in the way that I want them to be? Listen, you got to do your own work. And the relationship we have with the dynamics that have shaped our life are often the real reason our relationships aren't working. It's not always the other person per se, right? Yes, the other person houses things, we house things, but we have to do the work to see what is the real root of the relationship. What am I really having a relationship with? And a lot of us show up in our relationships with one another through shame, through guilt, through condemnation, through not feeling like I'm enough, through all other types of trauma and drama and different things that have happened to us, dividing principalities. All right. Yeah, sometimes you may come to the authentic sense of self in you, and it may be, hey, yep, we got to go our separate ways. But a lot of times, folks, it's just the dynamics. So before you get quick with the knife and cut somebody off, check yourself. Check yourself and see where it is that you're pulling your relational dynamic from, your relational philosophy, your relational wisdom, right? And if that's coming from an authentic, fully a whole place, then maybe you can look at, okay, I can't deal with this person. I can't deal with, and they're not willing to do the same work to see where their things coming in. Because I promise you, 8 billion people, we're not created to be incompatible. All right. Some of our incompatibilities come up because of conditions that we've all been kind of placed in. And as I said, conditions that are not really all that fully supportive to our relationships. So before you divorce the person, divorce the dynamics. I'm love for you. Peace.